All right. In the last lecture, we understood what Power BI is and what are its capabilities. In this lecture, we will look at one of its three elements, that is Power BI Desktop, Power BI Service, and Power BI Mobile App. In this lecture, we will have a look at the Power BI Desktop. Now, what is this? This is a free application you install on your local computer that lets you connect to, transform, and visualize your data. With Power BI Desktop, you can connect to multiple different sources of data and combine them into a data model. This data model lets you build visuals and collections of visuals you can share as reports with other people inside your organization. Users who work on BI projects use Power BI Desktop to create reports and then use the Power BI service to share their reports with others. The most common uses for Power BI Desktop are to connect to data, to transform and clean data, to create visuals like charts and graphs, to create reports that are collection of these visuals, and then finally share reports with others by using the Power BI service. People who are responsible for such tasks are often considered as data analysts or BI developers. You have to understand that Power BI Desktop is updated and released on a monthly basis, incorporating customer feedback and new features. So currently we are having a look at the latest version of Power BI Desktop. Now, the screen that you are seeing is a startup screen. You might want to uncheck this so that it doesn't pop up every time you open Power BI Desktop, but it's good to have. It tells you direct ways to get data, recent sources, open reports, and also some hands-on tutorials. What I'll do is I will click on the latest report that I have built and I will tell you a little about it. So there are three views available in Power BI Desktop that you see on the left side of the canvas. So first is the report. So currently if you see, this is the report view. So you create reports and visuals. Now this is where most of your creation time is spent. And then you have the table view where you see the tables, measures, and other data used in the data model associated with your report. You also transform the data for best use in the reports model. Further, we have the model where you see and manage the relationships among tables in your data model. And this is how you can access all of the three views. So I'll go back to the report view for now. Now, get started with Power BI Desktop, the first step is obviously to connect to data. Now there are many different data sources you can connect to from Power BI Desktop. So once you begin with Power BI Desktop, you will first, if you have not created any dashboard or report as yet, or if you are opening a fresh report for the first time, you will see this screen blank. So I will go here and I will click on new, and this is the screen that you will find. This screen itself gives you ways to add data to your report. So I will close this, and this is the screen that you will find if you are opening a fresh report. So these are the different ways you can import data from Excel, SQL Server, blank table. You can try a sample data set, or you can click here to get data from another source. So this will open up all the different ways you can get data in Power BI Desktop. You can reach this by going to the home ribbon and click on get data, and these are the different common data source. You can click on more, and this will open up the same get data window again. So you see there are different ways, there are files that you can use like Excel, CSV, JSON, etc. There are databases of SQL, Oracle, SAP HANA, MariaDB, etc. Microsoft Fabric as well, data sets that you can use in Power BI, Power Platform, Azure SQL storage. There are online services like SharePoint, GitHub, etc. And finally, there are other tools that as well you can bring data from into Power BI desktop. So it depends on the kind of data you are bringing. If you are bringing something like very easy, maybe an Excel or a CSV, you can import it directly. If you are bringing something like MySQL data set, you are prompted for information like URL and credentials. So that those are necessary for Power BI desktop to connect to the data source on your behalf. Again, the next step that people would usually do is to transform and clean the data once the data has been brought in. So there is a built-in Power Query editor. So how you reach that? So all you have to do is click on transform data, and this will open up the Power Query editor where you can transform your data. So you make changes to your data, such as changing a data type, removing columns, or combining data from multiple sources. It's like sculpting. You start with a large block of clay or data and then remove pieces or add pieces as needed until the shape of the data is how you want it. So currently it is blank because we have not loaded the data. What I'll do is I'll go to file and I'll open up this particular report that I have created. And if you now look at transform data, you will see that the data now loads because we have loaded some data, and it has all of these options available for us to transform this data. So here it's kind of very easy. Remember, each step that you take in transforming data, such as renaming a table, changing a data type, deleting a column, filtering some data, is all recorded by the Power Query editor, right? Every time this query connects to the data source, those steps are carried out so that the data is always shaped the way you specify, and you can look at those applied steps over here. If you want to change any step in the later coming time, you can edit it by clicking on the gear icon. You can click on this cross button to delete that particular step. So all of these steps are over here and everything is editable. So once you have loaded the data and you have transformed your data like how you want it, then you can create visuals. So once you make any changes, you have to click close and apply. And once you do that, you are back to this screen in the report view where you create visuals. So once you have a data model, you can drag fields from the reports fields into the canvas. So this screen that you see over here, I will create a new page. So this is a blank canvas for me. It's called as a report canvas. Currently it is blank, and in this summary page we have already added some visuals and slicers. So this is called as a report canvas, and here we add some visuals. A visual is a graphic representation of the data in your model, and then there are many different types of visuals to choose from in Power BI desktop. So you can have a look at all of these visuals. There are column charts, line charts, area charts, map charts, and then there are some really interesting chart types like all of this decomposition tree and cards and then maps, etc. And there are some really simple stuff like Power BI, Power BI has this table, and we also have some KPI matrix, and then there are some heat maps and tree maps, donut charts and map and pie charts. So we have all of these charts that you are used to seeing in every other BI builder, and we have all of these charts. But what's more interesting is you also have R scripts, you also have Python scripts that you can write to create visuals. So over here in this particular tab, you can see that we have created line chart, a map chart, and a clustered column chart. And these are all the visuals that we have created. We will see in the upcoming lectures how to exactly do this and change the configuration and settings and the look and feel. But to give an introduction, over here is where you add visuals to your report. Now, adding visuals is fine, but more often you will want to create a collection of visuals that shows various aspects of the data you have used to create your model in Power BI desktop. A collection of visuals in one Power BI desktop file is called as a report. A report can have one or more pages, just like an Excel file can have one or more worksheets. With Power BI Desktop, you can create complex and visually rich reports using data from multiple sources, all in one report that you can share with others in your organization. Great. So we have learned about data, how to bring in. We have also seen how to do data transformation, how to look at data model view, and then also about visuals and how to create visuals, what kind of visuals do we have in Power BI. After you have done all of that and a report is ready to share with others, you can publish the report to the Power BI service using the publish button over here. Once you publish the report to the service, you make it available to everyone in your organization who has a Power BI license. And it's easy, you just click on publish and the Power BI desktop connects you to the Power BI service with your Power BI account. Also, once you click on publish, you are prompted to select where in the Power BI service you would want to share the report. For example, your workspace, a team workspace, or some another location. So you can do all of that. You must have a Power BI license to share reports to the Power BI service. Great. So we have taken a complete tour of what Power BI desktop is. It's a mainly a high level overview of the different steps you do in Power BI desktop. It's a lot in the details. If you want to go, there is a lot that you can do. The basic steps are to bring data, transform data, create visuals, and share the report. But between these steps, you do a lot when you are actually building a professional or corporate level report. And that's what we will learn in the coming lectures, how to actually do all of this. So I hope this lecture has given you a very good introduction and idea about Power BI desktop. In the next lecture, we will have a look at Power BI service and I will see you in that one. Thank you and have a good day.